I can't.
There's got to be some payment here.
I think when things come back, we try to have our meetings there, David. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's fine. We don't have to have them individual, but I still have a gift card to Polly's that I'm carrying around. So
They do have
All
the
right.
best hamburgers and pies.
yes.
I love Polly's pies. Breakfast, their breakfasts are great.
Doug Beaver is with Cherry Aerospace SPS, so it's good to
good.
have him back.
Good.
And then Bridget Kavanaugh is with People's Inc.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I know
Yeah,
Daisy
excellent.
from her political work, and she's pretty amazing.
Daisy's the
Well,
only one I'm a little nervous with, but it's between City Council and Daisy on the final appointment. She didn't sound like she's that engaged in a bad way. So if council likes her, then I guess it's okay, right?
Yeah. Well,
They
I'm
will probably
excited
like
that they're having this many at one time.
Yeah.
Bringing on this many at one time is great, Deborah. Good job.
We will still have 2 private sector vacancies. So I am on the looking out for 2 more. And
Who's on your short list? Do you have a list on those vacancies that you're looking at?
I do. One of them is I'd like to try and get Waste Management on the board. They're a large
Okay.
employer in Santa Ana. However, the city is going through a procurement on trash. So I don't want to touch that until after that decision's made. So that's like June.
And Chip Monaco left, who was their government affairs guy, who was involved. So we are because he was on our board. We are processing a new person who has been with Waste Management, who's kind of stepping into Chip's role as we speak, coming onto our board. So it's a different person.
Okay.
So waiting doesn't hurt on that. Who else were you looking at?
I'd like to try and get a medical provider. In the past, we've had hospitals sit on the board and they seem to last just a year because they're super busy. So I was thinking of looking at one of our clinics here in Santa Ana. And right now I can't think of, there's a predominant one that's throughout Santa Ana. There's some on Main Street in South Bristol.
Well, there's the one provider that's on Bristol across from the Global Hospital. Oh, I'm trying to think, and it's a big provider. I mean, it's not just Orange County.
Right, they're in LA County. I think that's
Yeah.
their base, and I
I'm
can't
trying to
remember.
think of the name. That would be good, to have a healthcare provider. I would
'Cause
say
they hire
KPC
a
Health.
lot of phlebotomists, they hire nurse
Yeah.
assistants as well as nurses and doctors, but
Speaking of that, well, maybe that's not. What about CNI College? When you mentioned nursing.
we could, she is a private business owner and she's a school.
So Colleen is on my board, but I was thinking of Deborah, her senior vice president, who works a lot in workforce development, that kind of thing. That might be, like I said, they're on our board as well.
Right.
Colleen is, and KPC Health and Chalk are on our board as well. But I'm not sure we'd get somebody from Chalk at this point. KPC, I'm still searching for the replacement for Ann Avi, who left us last year.
Right.
So I haven't had much success there, but maybe KPC, that might be someone to consider too.
And then there's also a smaller hotel on Red Hill and Dyer. They did a business buyout and a layoff a couple months ago, and I had a nice dialogue with the general manager there, so I might call him as well. We'd reached
Okay.
out to Doubletree, but Doubletree, the economy is hurting them, so they backed out.
So did you talk to Jason at Doubletree?
Yeah, we spoke to Jason, we spoke to Yvonne, and Yvonne was also going to look at Erica, who's a staff clerk, but they're looking to take on all of them additional duties because of some downsizing that they're going to be taking. And so,
Well, we launched the tourism and marketing district with the hotels, and we have 6 hotel GMs on the board. So if there's other hotels you think of, there are 17 hotels that make up the district. 6
Right.
of them are on the board. So Jason is the chair of the board, but Julie I forget Julie's last name. She is the vice chair. She's at the Marriott on Harbor. And then you also have, and Barbara knows all these people. I'm just trying to think of the other ones. They're on the board too. The names will come. But if you want to go that route, let me know.
Okay, and
It sounds like you could,
I heard
sounds
Jason
like
was going to be the chair of the tourism board, so I figure you guys, he needs to be on that right now and get that launched.
Correct,
So
right.
someone
And he's
else
jumping
could-
in, yeah, because, between Morley and Jonathan and myself, we spent 2.5 years on that project. So we're on the board, but we just said, we're not going to be officers. So, the officers, the top 2 officers are hotel general managers. And that's how we kind of wanted it, because they need to run the thing.
Yes.
So,
yeah, but you
but that's
still are,
something we're going to want to discuss or bring to our Workforce Investment Board at some point down the road as this gets organized and put together, because it has to do with jobs and training and all this kind of stuff too.
Perfect.
yeah, you're kind of screening them for us, letting us know who's involved and which ones we want to go with, because obviously their commitment there is going to show some support to whoever they put on if they put somebody on the Workforce Investment Board.
Yeah.
Um,
So, back to the 5 nominees, I'm fine with what Bob suggested. If there was a second, I was just curious as to where they came from.
You can get, I know there's a little bit more, and if you want to read them, there more about them too. Their resumes are in your
In the packet,
packet
yeah, I just glanced
that
through
Bianca sent.
the agenda.
I know, but there's a lot. I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to slam you there, David. I'm just
Oh,
saying
no. I wasn't,
reference.
I don't expect
If
it.
you want to look at more of what they do, that's where you would find it, or their
If I
contact
want to get
information.
more into their life, I can read on this. Okay, I got you.
There you go. Well, and we'll have somebody from Peoples, I see. That'll be interesting too. All right. Okay, so we have a motion and a second on the floor. All those in
second?
favor?
I'm sorry, who's second?
Oh. Well, it was Dave and Bob. I
Sing?
thought I had a motion and a
Pick
second.
one.
One of them was first and one of them was
Doesn't
second.
matter.
Okay.
Bob
Thank
made the motion. I'll second it. That's fine. I'll
Okay,
second
thank you,
too.
David.
For sure, we have a motion and a second now. So all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Thank you.
Opposed? I think we have everybody. Enrique, did you go off mute? Enrique,
I believe he muted himself.
I heard him say aye.
Yeah,
okay.
I voted yes.
Okay,
Thank you,
thank
Enrique.
you. Okay.
Oh, we got Dennis, yes. And I know Enrique's got a 1:30, so he's probably having lunch right now.
And I think, sorry, I had to go back to my page 1 here. That's the end of the business calendar. Deborah, you have any staff member comments?
The 3 workforce boards have been working on the regional and the local plan. It's due to Sacramento, April 30th, and it's a good draft, and so we're going to put it out for public comments in the next week or 2. You'll see it on the agenda for the OC board this week, and I'd like to take it to our board on March 18th. So our next board meeting is going to be Thursday, the 18th. These new 5 members are going to go to City Council on the 16th. If council agrees and they appoint them, then Bianca is going to swear them in on Wednesday or Thursday morning, and they'll be at the board meeting on Thursday. So we should have a fuller board meeting, and we'll have the plan there, as well as Enrique, I've asked your research person to come and do a presentation on the recent labor sector industry analysis that she did. And
Oh,
right
that's
now,
great.
her name just flew off my mind. She and I spoke in early January, and I've got her scheduled for March's meeting.
Okay, great.
And that's it for staff.
Deborah, just if you make a note, I will try to dial, because we're obviously doing Zoom. I'll try to dial in on the 18th, but I'll be in Florida.
Okay,
But I will try to do that. I'm trying to, with some of my key meetings, trying to participate even at a distance, especially since we're doing Zoom.
I
Just
appreciate
depending-
that.
But just make a note that if I'm not, it's not because I didn't want to, just that I'm tied up with family stuff on the 18th.
Okay.
Dennis, Bob, any comments you want to make?
Um,
Enrique? Oh, Dennis, sorry, go ahead.
None, other than our workforce service branch staff are no longer helping unemployment insurance, so they've been redirected back to WSB. We're still following the telecommute order we're under, so I've probably got maybe 1 or 2 people at the most coming into any one particular office or each of the offices at this time. So we're still waiting to hear what might happen somewhere along the line of, reopening up. I think Anaheim I have a meeting this week, I think, with Anaheim to talk about that.
Oh,
So we'll see what happens.
well, that'll be interesting.
Open these doors.
Yeah.
Open these doors.
However, we have actually had a lot of success with virtual workshops. People are starting to get comfortable with Zoom. I actually have a Zoom account I'm waiting to get authorized, and it's a new way of working. And I think we just hired a real intellectual group of staff recently, and they all have large experience with virtual communication, virtual workshops. And so if you notice on our, it's probably on the Workforce Development Board website as well, but we also have 6 workshops a week that are virtual in each of the, or 2 a week in each of the sites. So that's 6 total for our region. And those are virtual workshops for clients.
Do you expect that even when we open up that you'll continue to do these virtual workshops? I mean, have they been that successful?
I actually intend to do that. The Zoom, for instance, RESCA, that's getting ready to happen. We're waiting on, that's going to be virtual. And there's some interesting things going on with that. There's going to be a YouTube video for the RESCA, and then there's some more things that will happen which involve the referrals, the assessment workshops, and the one-on-ones after that. And we'll have more information once those RESCAs begin to kick off. But I think the virtual job fairs, I think Orange County Workforce Development Board, they are allowing us to use their platform for any virtual job fairs or workshops. And so that's available to the Santa Ana team and the Anaheim team as well. I think the Anaheim team, I didn't ask about them, but I did ask about the Santa Ana team.
It's available to all 3 workforce boards.
Okay, great, excellent.
I have a quick comment. I was just wondering, my futuristic thinking, do you see, Deborah, the workforce board playing a role in retraining folks that are affected by the implementation of artificial intelligence, people where jobs no longer require people, and retraining? I had that conversation with my union folks, and they just say, well, just say no. And I said, no, it's coming, it's here. But there will be people affected, displaced, frankly, by artificial intelligence. And, we're seeing it with Zoom and everything else. So I'm just wondering down the road if there's a role our organizations will play in helping people adapt.
I think there will be, and I've started to hear some chatter amongst our educators at the community college level and Cal State Fullerton and UCI level. So I think there will be more and more training, career pathways that we can participate and get folks there. Because I do see hospitality industry not coming full strength for a few more years.
Yeah.
And that there'll be people, having to change careers to decide what they're going to do next, particularly after this summer. And as vaccines are more readily available and anyone who wants one can get one, now the question will be, what else, guys? What's next? Let's move on.
Okay, cool.
Right, right.
Well, thank you everyone for your time. Anything else? Or-
Mhm.
I think that's it. I think we can adjourn.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everybody. Good seeing y'all.
Thank you. I appreciate it. We got 5 in, 2 to go.
All right.
Take care, everyone.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.